Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to do a compare and contrast between this scene that we will see tonight on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville between Martell and Chris, where Chris is reacting to Martell disrespecting his wife, Nell. And then I want to compare this to how they actually side with Martell when it comes to how Melody went about taking care of the revenge P threat. I am just totally outdone, totally annoyed and angry with the Fletchers. I find them to be unintelligent and biased. So we're going to get into all of it. Now, before we do, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. You knew that I was going to ask you, right? Because us content creators ask you to do that on all of our videos. The reason why we ask you to hit the like button is because then YouTube will push this video out through its algorithm, recommending it to more people who enjoy discussing the various topics surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. Okay, so as you can see, I want to start out with the clip that has surfaced on Instagram. This comes from the Love and Marriage Huntsville Instagram page. So I'm going to play this soundbite. The Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. I just want to make sure that I take care of business because I feel like I am in a zone because I'm so annoyed with the Fletchers. I want to start out with this clip. I want to talk about Chris's body language, how Martell has this huge smirk on his face, and then the nerve that they have in their recent interview with blogger Christal Jordan. Okay, so let me just go ahead and play this soundbite, and then I will be back with my commentary.
How's that? I had a talk with the wife. I think my wife deserves an apology for calling her a side chick. Weren't you married when you started? Before I met her, yeah. That's a lie. Now you lying. Now I said before I met her, before I met Nell. That's a lie. I was married to yeah, you were married and you met Nell and y'all kind of. And I was separated from my wife on paper. We're going through the divorce. My wife ain't no side chick. So she ain't Nell. Don't call her. She never was. Hold on. Don't call my wife no side chick. She ain't never been no side chick. All right, so hold on. Seriously. Hold on. If we're gonna define the term, what's the definition of a side chick? I don't know. Some everybody made up. Maybe you say she wasn't a side chick. I mean, too, she wasn't a side chick. I won't call her a side chick no more. That's just what it is. Well, I appreciate that. Speaking of moving on to the next, what's that? I had a talk with the wife. I think my wife deserves an apology for calling her a side chick.
Okay, so at the end, I let it re-loop for a few seconds. So Chris Fletcher, when it comes to his body language, when he's dealing with Martell and speaking on behalf of his wife, he comes off a little scary. You know, he definitely put a lot of distance between himself and Martell. I do find his energy 99% of the time to be very calm, very self-controlled. I think that Chris Fletcher, he's that guy. I feel like he does kind of like think a few seconds before he says something. I'm sure when he transacts business, he definitely goes over his emails over and over. He definitely gives that type of energy. I think sometimes that could perhaps mutate and change into a little nervous energy. And he already knows Martell, right? He knows that Martell is the opposite of him, lacks self-control, can come off unhinged, ready to get it popping, ready to start yelling, especially when you start calling him out on where he is wrong. So I feel like Chris Fletcher is already taking a very careful stance. Now, in terms of, because I made a video about this where I said, you know, Nell didn't even know she was a side chick when I was giving commentary on her scene with Melody from last weekend's episode. So from a dictionary standpoint, Nell is a side chick. But obviously, she does not like that title. And I'm guessing that she told Chris, you need to check Martell on camera because I don't appreciate him calling me a side chick. So that is what Chris is doing. He is appeasing his wife. Martell is so disrespectful with this smirk on his face. He thinks that it's funny. And because he disrespected his marriage and his wife, he totally reneged on the vows that he made when he promised God to take care of Melody. He wants to flip it. Instead of focusing on whenever a man cheats, he just wants to call out the woman who is the willing participant. So in this case, instead of Martell saying to Chris, he does say it in that conversation, but weren't you married? But instead of coming down on the husband too, he just says, oh, Nell is a side chick. And it's funny to him. And of course, because of the way Ariane moves on social media, the way she looks so trifling and ghetto on Instagram and on TikTok, nobody wants to be called the side chick because they do not want to be equated with Ariane. So that is why it was important to Nell that Chris shoot this scene with Martell. But Martell is so disrespectful. He's totally not taking you seriously. Then at the end, he says, okay, well, if you say she ain't no side chick, she ain't no side chick, I ain't going to say it no more. Very condescending, playing in your face, Chris, and you let him. And that is garbage. But even what makes it more stinky garbage is the fact that you all would actually go up for him in your interview with the beautiful blogger, Christal Jordan. Definitely check out her interview on her YouTube channel. It's called From Christal XO, and she spells Christal Christal. So she interviewed the Fletchers, and I'm sure that you all have checked it out. The video came out 2 days ago. And, I really wanted to focus and marinate and really think about my commentary. And sometimes it's really beneficial to wait because then they release the clip of that scene. And it was just so annoying to see how, Martell gets to disrespect Nell. And then they, in turn, they don't return that energy to Martell, but they actually shot it in Mel's direction. And she totally is undeserving of it. So I want to go ahead and play this soundbite. It's not where Nell says, that Melody is stubborn herself. And when she gets mad at them, she does not listen to them. This soundbite that I'm going to play for you all is strictly their reactions to Melody sending the evidence to the magistrate and getting a warrant for Martell's arrest. So I'm going to speak to their mindset. I know that we all have discussed Nell's mindset. It is just so annoying. And I feel like this mindset, it is a popular one. And I feel like that it is to the detriment and the weakness of the Black race. And that is why the Black man, he never changes because he never has to. People are going to back him up and support him even when he is wrong. And if see, now I'm giving my commentary. If the tables had been turned and it was Melody threatening him with revenge P and Martell got the warrant for her arrest, the Fletchers would be saying that he did the right thing, in my opinion. And most of the Black race would have said he did the right thing if the tables were turned. But what I do want to say on her saying earlier that, Melody is stubborn too, and when I get mad at them, I don't talk to them. That totally explains why when she filmed her scene with Stormy and she said that she had not spoken with Melody, it was because she was pissed that Melody got him arrested. So she didn't even bother to talk to her. That is stupid. And that's not being a friend. But that's definitely being that old school, old fashioned, antiquated mindset that, this young girl, she don't know what she's talking about. And, you're judging her. And we still see that mindset today. But I thought that was very dumb. And I have a feeling that she does that with her kids when she's being a control freak and her kids don't listen to everything that Nell does. I bet she won't speak to them for a while either. That dinner scene, we all saw how she pops off. That's probably why Chris Fletcher has such calm energy, because he has to. But let me play this soundbite and I will come back with more commentary.
To what extreme that what he had done. I didn't like the fact that he was arrested, but I did not have all the information. Neither. I clearly stated I had not spoken with Nell. I said I have not spoken with her. It's so much, so I did not know what exactly he was being arrested for. Right. All I knew was he had been arrested, and allegedly he had the kids with him, and I didn't like that. Yeah. And I'm a person, I'm a mother, and it had nothing really to do with playing the black card. But I do have sons, and we have grandchildren. So any woman, would not like that. You put yourself in those shoes, but at the same time, they're not my shoes. Yeah. They're hers. And what he's done, you can't come from that. Like, find out what he did do. Like, okay, they do so much. I'm thinking it's something what they arguing about, as they always do it, not to the fact of what was said he done. Right. That's just something you don't do. Right. Yeah. Because I wouldn't want Fletcher to do that. No, and that's what I want to ask you, Chris, because I know as a man, I appreciate the fact that you always hold him accountable on screen, I'm sure off screen as well. But we're just going to say the alleged revenge porn and what was done. Because first it was said that, it's a text message. And of course, any woman thinks, well, okay, a text message is, harassing text message. But then when it came out, at that time through the blogs, what the text message was threatening. And I just want to know from your perspective as a man and a husband, what is your perspective on his actions and the fact that he actually would threaten to do something so distasteful and disrespectful to his wife, but also the mother of his children that are very well able to read the blogs and to be affected by something that disgusting. Well, again, we're talking about Martell. And Martell is the type of individual that he just really reacts. He doesn't really think. Because I don't see that. He's a smart guy. You know what I mean? So I hope he didn't go through thinking about this and then did it. I hope that Martell that just reacted on something that, that he felt so, I don't know, apparently determined about. I don't like it. Melody going to the point of, putting the warrant out and him serving that warrant or what have you, being arrested. No, that's not it. That's never good. That's never good. But I really don't have an opinion on what she should have done or how she should have done it. Yeah. That's only up to her. That's only up to Melody. But Martell just somehow he just has to get it. And I don't know to what point or when that mechanism within his brain is going to click for him to say, okay, enough is enough. Just sit down, my friend. Sit down, brother. Be a father, that you're a wonderful father. So just do that. Be that. Yeah.
Okay, so let me say this. I feel like, can I get inside the blogger's head? Of course not. I'm not inside Christal Jordan's head. I can't read her mind. I kind of feel like she was sensing that the Fletchers did not realize the magnitude of the revenge P. Because first she starts off with Nell, and I'm sorry, Nell is giving slow. Like, all she could say was, I hadn't talked to Mel. I didn't have all the information when I said he shouldn't have went to jail. And you know, I got sons. Ma'am, you have to compartmentalize. Your sons, when they went to jail allegedly, or Chris Jr. going to jail allegedly, that has nothing to do with Martell threatening his ex-wife with revenge P. The cases are totally separate. I'm not even clear on what Chris Jr. did allegedly. I know what I've heard, but my point is, why are you conflating, oh yeah, I wouldn't want my son to go to jail, so I don't want Martell to go to jail. That is just so silly. Now, if God forbid someone does some sort of crime against you and they happen to be a black male, what, you don't want to go to the police? You're not going to dial 911? You're not going to pursue charges simply because he's a black man? That is stupid. And then that's why they never improve in their lives, because they know that 90% of the race is going to back them up even when they are wrong. There's a gentleman on TikTok, he made a video. He's black himself, and he said that when it comes to dating, you know, black men, they approach black women wrong. They treat black women wrong because they know that 90% of black women do not date outside of their race. He said, so black women, y'all show y'all cards, y'all show y'all hand even before you start playing. He already knows what time it is with you, because he's assuming that you're in that 90% that only F's with black men. Now, it's not to say that men of other races can't be full of bull, because they are too. But the black man will say he never has to try and be respectful. He never has to be open to commitment and marriage. He never has to court you and improve himself to be marriage material, because he assumes that you're in that 90% of black women that will never date outside the race, that will never say deuces to the BS. And a lot of that mindset, that arrogance that they have, assuming that black women will always stick around, it's evident in the mindsets that the Fletchers have. But because Nell gave such a dumb Forrest Gump response, then the blogger Christal Jordan was like, you know, well, Chris, what do you think? As a man and having a family of your own, what did you think about Martell being willing to threaten his ex-wife, the mother of his children, with something so disgusting? And Chris Fletcher actually had the nerve to start off with, well, first of all, I mean, it's Martell. Like saying, you know, it's okay to lower your standards for a human being when it comes to Martell because it's Martell. That is bull. But you would hold Melody at a higher standard now, wouldn't you, though? If she threatened him with revenge P, it would be like, oh my gosh, Melody, you know better. You're college educated. You were raised in the church. You volunteered in all the different auxiliaries at church. You're a mother. You're a businesswoman. How could you? But he actually started out with, well, it's Martell. So it's okay to accept his fuck shit when it is not. So I get so annoyed. And they are, from a physical standpoint, the Fletchers, they make a beautiful couple. They're two attractive people who found each other. But intellectually, they are also on the same level, and it is a very low level. I do not understand their way of thinking, nor will I ever, and nor will I ever succumb to it. But, you know, it's a TV show. These are Melody's co-workers. If she chooses to, she can continue to film with the Fletchers, because that is an additional stream of income for her and her beautiful children. I would just treat the Fletchers like co-workers. I would no longer share anything deeply personal or serious with them. And at this point, in my opinion, I don't even think they have the brain capacity to properly process anyway. So just treat them like co-workers, Melody. I hope you're doing great today. I enjoyed your TikTok, and child, just so annoyed. But what do you all think about how foolish they look going up for Martell when Martell totally disrespected Nell and had this huge smirk on their face? And please hit the like button on this video. And I appreciate you all watching this video. The support means so much to me. Also, Chris very explicitly said that, Melody getting him arrested was not the way to go. I don't know what these two are thinking. When someone commits a crime, which is an act that is against the law, how else are you supposed to go about it? That is so stupid to me. It's either legal justice or street justice. What in the world? Is she just supposed to just lie and take it? No, sir. No, ma'am. So these two are dumb. But thanks again for watching this video. Now I have created my content unless something else pops off. The goal is going to the gym and going to the movies. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.